Well, hey, Catherine here. I'm gonna make some holiday cards today. We're gonna do some kiss cards. I haven't done any in a while, and I'll explain to you as we're going along what that is, but I'm gonna use the Peppermint stick background, the Merry Labels die, the Candy Cane Lane stamps and the coordinating dies, as well as Grass Skirt, Rockin Red, and Blackjack. So we'll set these aside. I'm gonna do a background first. So I'm gonna grab my Misty, I'm gonna pull out this pad, because when you pull that pad out, then it makes room for a rubber stamp. So we're gonna put that right in the corner there, and then I'm gonna grab my cardstock. I already have pre-cut cardstock, and these are all cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm gonna grab my Versamark ink pad. I'm gonna ink up my peppermint stick, and I'm gonna stamp it on my white cardstock. So before I do that, I'm just gonna grab a little adhesive. I just want to put a little bit in the center, because I can't, when you use a Misty, you push it all the way down in the corner so that if you have to, stamp it multiple times, then if it moves, you can just stick it right back down in the corner. Or if you want to use your magnets, you can, but there's nowhere for me to put the magnets because the stamp is going to cover the entire piece of cardstock. And if I move it, or if I put it all the way down in the corner there, then on the edge of the rubber, where it hits, it's not going to give you a stamped image. So that's why I use the adhesive there. That looks pretty close. I'm gonna give it one more shot just for good measure. And kiss cards are when I make a bunch of cards at once. So I'm gonna make 4 today. It's easy to take a big sheet of 8.5 by 11, cut it down, make your 4 card layers, and then do your 4 card bases at once. And then as long as you're stamping 1, you may as well stamp 4. And sometimes I do them all the same, and sometimes I vary them up a little bit. So I'm gonna do 2 different styles today. Actually, you know what? I only need 2 backgrounds to make 4 cards. So now my decision comes in, do I make 4, which will make 8 cards, or do I just stick with my 2? I think I'm just gonna stick with the 2 for now. So we are all set with these. I'm gonna grab my Wanderlust embossing powder. This was a special embossing powder made by Wow for our last Stamp of Approval collection. If you didn't grab that, it will be in the store in a few months. And this is a nice clear embossing glitter. I'll just shake that around, make sure my cardstock is covered, and then we will funnel this right back into the container. I like to use copy paper because it's really easy and it's cheap, and you just funnel it right back in. Grab my heat tool and we'll just heat this. I'm gonna watch it. When it's clear, it's kind of hard to see, so I just kind of turn it to the side and I wait for that powder to turn shiny, and then I know it's done, and I'll do 2 pieces. I don't know if you can see, but down here at the bottom, actually right here, there's a little gap there between the stamped image and my cardstock. So remember I was telling you that's why you have to kind of move the paper over from the edge a little bit. I didn't move it up far enough. So I have a little bit of a white space there. Now we'll take the embossed layer and one of the label dies, so the small one, and we'll just place it right kind of in the center toward the top, and we'll run this through the Big Shot. I'm going to do that on both. And then it cuts out a positive and a negative. So I have pieces for 4 different cards. And then I'm going to take some plain cardstock. I'm going to cut out a bunch of candy cane and holly and berries, and we'll use these to decorate the front of the cards. You can also do your stamping first and then line up your die cuts on top and run it through the Big Shot. Sometimes I like doing it this way and sometimes I like doing it the other, but either way I do it, I always stamp and die cut more than I need because I never know if I'm going to get it lined up correctly. Let's see how I did on these. Yay, I did pretty good. So I do have my magnetic platform that I'm using, but even with that, sometimes they shift and they don't always stay lined up correctly, and then I die cut them and they're off. You can use washi tape or painter's tape to secure them and keep them from moving around. That also helps. Of course, I don't have any on hand, so I can't use that method. I'll just do it both ways, and hopefully we'll have enough at the end to successfully stamp and die cut hollies, berries, and candy canes. For each card, I need 2 holly, 1 berry, 2 candy canes. So I have a few already. I'm gonna stamp a few more. So here is, wow, yay! I got that centered perfectly. Haha! And I didn't get that one centered perfectly, so 1 for 2. So I have the holly and berries, and I need some large candy canes to go with the large holly and berry. I'm gonna do the plaid and the polka dot. So we'll set grass skirt aside, grab Rockin' red. So I have 2 and 2, 1, 2, 2, and 1. Now I need to do some little ones. So I grabbed out some of my candy canes already, so I will just stamp those up real quick. And when you're making multiple cards of the same design or even slightly different designs, it always works really well to do it assembly line style. It's much more time efficient. It's about time to start assembling the card. So I have 4 card bases and they are scored already. I'm gonna do 2 of them the same way and then 2 a different way. So I'm gonna add this to the MISTI, and I have my label all centered there. And I decided I'm gonna use Merry and Bright Boughs for the greetings. So I've already pulled out Merry Christmas, and I'm just gonna line it up inside where the label is going to hit. I'm gonna close the MISTI. That will pick those stamps up. We'll remove this, and then I'm gonna grab my Rockin' red ink pad. We'll just pat that and stamp. And that looks awesome. I'm just gonna do one more pass just for good measure. Yeah, there, that's it. So I'm gonna do the second one the same way. This should hit in just about the same spot, so I don't think I need to move my words or my greeting. I've added a bunch of dimensional adhesive to the back, and we're just going to layer this right on top of the card base. Each layer will go right over the top. I'm going to set these aside just for a minute while I work on the other 2 card bases. They are going to be slightly different. So I'm just going to fold those in half, and we'll just add dimensional adhesive to the positive label pieces. Add that to the top in the center, and do that for the other one as well. So now we have 4 card bases, 2 and 2. They're basically opposite of each other. Now I need a greeting on this one. I'm gonna go back to the Candy Cane Lane set. There are so many great greetings to choose from here, but I think I'm gonna do the sweetest holiday wishes. And we'll just ink that up, and I'm just gonna stamp it. I'm gonna practice on scratch paper first just to make sure. All right, we're good to go. And I'm just gonna line it up right underneath that label. The next step, I'm gonna work on the candy canes. I'm just gonna do a little dot of glue. I'm going to cross them in the center. And then I'm gonna do a little more glue. And my quick stick will help me pick these pieces up. So I'm just gonna add the berries, and then we'll add the leaves. I'm gonna add a little liquid glue directly to the leaves. I'm gonna repeat that for all 4 sets of candy canes. I think I like the leaves pointing down like this a little bit better. All 4 candy cane are ready, so now it's just time to add these to the card front. So just add a little bit of liquid glue and just add them right on there. How cute is that? So just adding the little candy canes just changes up the whole card. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. We'll just add those there. And leave me a comment below. Do you guys like the big candy canes or the little candy canes? And which do you prefer? Do you have a preference as to whether you like the negative die cut piece or the positive? And greetings too. We have 2 very different greetings. Merry Christmas, very traditional, and a really fabulous font. And then we have the really fun, sweetest holiday wishes. Hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial, and you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And that's about it for now. Thanks for being here, guys. I will see you soon.